Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. Sit the back down. Sit like everybody nowadays. Hollywood. Oh, it's like that now? I'ma show you how to act now. I'ma show them how to act. I'ma show you. I'ma show them how to act.
I'm gonna mess up your intro.
Yo, another edition of Hardknocktv, Grammy style.
Hey.
Grammy style.
Tight.
And we've talked about this moment in past interviews. We've
That's
talked
true.
about this moment in your room before.
Yeah.
You've actually read me a Grammy speech you had way
That I
back
lost.
in the day that you lost.
Yes.
So this moment's finally here.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Feels awesome. As you're saying all that, it's like making me think about it. It's surreal and it feels deserved, but it feels like, when I was younger, I always wanted things like I wanted like a radio hit, or I wanted, to have that single or this, or to be able to tour in front of thousands and thousands of people and then all this other stuff. And now that I'm older, I realized I wasn't ready for it, like truly, and I wasn't mature enough, and I don't know how I could have handled all those things. And I think the same, can be said about this. Like, sure, there's a lot of fun songs that are performed at the Grammys and good times and all this, but given this song specifically with 1-800 and the message behind this and the entire album, I think it was all leading to this moment, so that the introduction I would be given to the world would be, that of true positivity and not just a good time.
Walk me back a little bit. The last time we talked on camera was when you were getting ready to release the album. We did a detailed, track by track analysis of that. A lot has happened since then.
Yes.
It's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
What are some of the things when you look back at the year? Have you had a chance to look back at the year and kind of like let it soak in, or is everything happening so fast that you're just kind of keeping up with what's next?
It's like a bit of both. It is a bit of both. Because I think my mentality is always like, what's next, what's next, what's next? And I think that's a good mentality to have, because then you're not complacent, you know what I mean? And you're able to like constantly, for every goal you attain, you set 10 more and then you achieve those. But at the same time, it can be hard because it's also taking away living in the moment and appreciating where you are right now and truly enjoying it, as opposed to being like that one uncle that's like, back in the day,
Right.
If only I could, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm trying to get the best of both worlds where I can really enjoy it.
Tell me a little bit about, I was with you right before the VMA performance.
Yeah.
And everybody saw the amazing speech, the amazing performance, but I got to see you almost puke before you even went on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the nerves.
Yeah, totally.
But the public doesn't get to see that. They don't get to see the nerves. They don't get to see, but I think it's important to talk about it, because I think a lot of your fans, a lot of people watching, feel those nerves and then sometimes think, oh, well, I don't have what it takes, instead of feeling the nerves and being like, I'm still going to step out on that ledge. I'm still going to, perform. I'm still going to go, do that.
Yeah.
Walk me through like the step right before you hit the stage of the VMAs, and do you think something like that will happen at the Grammys? Like, how do you prep yourself when those big nerves come before a big moment, and how do you like talk your way through it?
My friend, one of my best friends, his name is Sladro, and he told me the first time I ever did Jimmy Fallon in New York is the first time I ever did, network television. And I was so nervous. I felt that same thing. Like, I could throw up and my nerves and all this stuff. And he looked at me and he was like, bro, remember this feeling and do your best to enjoy it, because you're not going to have many more of these firsts. You know what I mean? And he's like, the career you're going to have. And that was, like 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So from then to the VMAs, like, feeling all that, to, the Grammys, when I go and I'm probably going to also feel like puking then, I'm going to do my best to enjoy it, because it's that feeling that lets me know I'm alive. It lets me know I'm doing something, I'm relevant, I'm doing something that's important, that literally the world is going to hear. So for me, it is a positive reminder, but you have to do it. Because like, what is all this for? What are all the years of hard work and determination and persistence for, if I'm not going to, I might puke behind the stage, but as soon as I'm done, I go out and then that's it. Yeah, you got to do it.
Speak a little bit about the power of visualization. Like, I feel like ever since I've known you, you have really, everything you visualize has come to be, whether it's the concepts of your album, whether it's the novel you're writing now, whether it's your record label, whether it's a sci-fi movies. Like, you have a very clear vision in your head of what you want the future to look like.
Yeah.
How do you put that into existence? Because you talk about stuff and it happens.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's something that, so it's a secret. And the secret is if you believe it and you do it, then you can achieve it. But how could it be a secret if I just told you? That's because 99.9% of the people watching this truly don't have that mentality or understand, and it sucks. And it's not to downplay the viewer or this or that. It's just because of society and where we are. It's go to school, get a job, have some kids, tell them to do the same thing over and over again. And any dreams or ambitions that you have, that's too crazy, that's too this. I would do this, but I don't have the money, or but I have to take care of my parents, or but this, or but. And as soon as you say that, that's it. I say I'm gonna, and therefore I do. I am going to win a Grammy. Is it this Sunday? I don't know. Is it next year? Is it the year after? Is it 20 years later? I don't know, but I will. And I'm going to because I say it, and because my life's work is to achieve these goals and these things. So as long as you truly believe it, you tell yourself you believe it, you envision yourself with it, you see it, you see yourself on that stage, or earning that degree, or getting that job, or starting your own company, business, traveling, whatever it is, you have to see it and then do it. And just do it. And people, how do you do it? You just do it. I can't tell you how to do it. You got to do it. And so I do my best to stay as focused as I can and make it real. Just make it real.
Make it real in your head, and make it real by actually working at it every day.
Yeah, completely. I mean, yes, 100%.
I think the power of positivity and speaking things into existence is amazing. That's a secret, but there's also something to be said for the fact that you don't take days off. Like even when you're taking days off, even when you're at your house, not on tour, your creativity, you don't turn off your creativity. Your mind is constantly thinking of stuff.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, but it's a curse I really enjoy, rather. I've had to do my best to truly balance myself, and I do every day. It's still a huge process to balance myself, to say when to chill out, when to relax. And I definitely relax. I definitely have time to myself, but the thing is, for example, I love to watch movies. I love film, and now I'm making movies and writing and doing all this stuff. I love books. And, for me, it's like my off time when I'm not recording and traveling and this and that will be spent, I'm going to watch a bunch of Tarantino movies. And then by watching that, I get inspired, I get an idea. So then my working brain is like, all right, let me pull this out and write this down and do this. And then I have 5 minutes to go, or 10 or 2 hours to go work on the second novel or the third novel or this or that. But I love it. I truly do love it. And I make time for my wife. I make time for me as well. I do, because the thing about making me time is just the things I want to do. But the good thing is, like, for example, for my birthday, my wife, she took me to this spa where they give you all these massages and stuff. And I'm not really with that. I think it's amazing and it was awesome. And I'm glad I have my wife to balance me out, because I would never do that. But when she drags me there and then I'm there, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I needed this, so yeah.
No doubt. Let's speak a little bit about a conversation we've had since I met you.
Yeah.
Was health.
Completely.
Eating.
Yeah.
Working out.
Totally.
I feel like you're at a point now where you fully embrace that. Now I see you eating salads.
Yeah.
And actually, that was a big thing before.
I know. Green drinks.
Touch green things.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Now you're working out. We're working out in the morning sometimes. Yeah. Was there a turning point that you're like, I need to do this for myself, or what was it that finally
Yeah, I think in youth you don't really truly realize or think about your mortality and the fact that we're gonna die. Everybody's gonna die, and on a long enough timeline, everybody does. So it's that may seem morbid, but it's just the truth. A lot of people don't like to accept it. They don't like to deal with it and think about it. And hey, everybody's different. You deal with it however you want to. Me, I go to therapy. I talk to my friends. I'm just me. I'm so open. I'll talk forever until I feel good about something. And so I think I just thought about how, I used to smoke cigarettes. Can you believe that? I smoked cigarettes for 10 years since I was 14 till I was, 11 years. Dang. And then, when I was 25, I was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I had this really bad health scare, and I was going through all this anxiety. So I cut that out, and then I just started to slowly cut out things and cut in things as well. And eating well and all that. I just want to be around. That's the biggest thing. I want to be around. And hey, it is what it is. You never know. You got genetics, you got this, you got all these different things factor, but it's hey, at least I'm making an effort. I'm not drinking 7 sodas a day like I used to when I was 21 and eating a bunch of candy and all this stuff. Even to the point where before this interview, I was like, I have to eat. And I would have never done that before. Coming from other interviews and rehearsals and this, and I come here because this is so important, and then I'll try to eat after. But it's no, I need to. If this isn't taken care of, this can't happen. And I realize that.
let's talk about 1-800 a little bit.
Yeah.
I've talked to some people in the industry who are like, oh man, that was made for the radio, blah, blah. I was like, you have no idea what you're talking about. It's a song about suicide.
100%.
Like, if Logic wanted to make a song for the radio, this wouldn't be it.
Yeah.
But
no, it wasn't. I tried to make a million songs for the radio. I mean, you know that, you know?
To be able to have a song on the radio that deals about depression, suicide, something that we don't hear on mainstream, that is taboo, that we don't want to address. It's kind of like that thing nobody really talks to their friends about. They just try to go through it on their own.
Yeah.
What does it mean that you're at the Grammys for that particular song?
It means a lot, but what is even more so really amazing is like, dude, I'm not the first person to talk about any of these issues, but I think on a mainstream level, to make it my entire being and everything, because it's much more than the song, you know. Obviously the entire album talks about so many of the things and so many of the things that we go through as even a society that leads to that point of, you know, maybe needing to call that phone number, and unfortunately many people who never knew it was there. And so to kind of see myself very respectfully at the forefront of that, and then seeing a lot of other artists addressing these things as well, it makes me feel good, because I was inspired by those before me, like Kid Cudi and so many others. And so, I mean, what does it mean to me? I mean, it means the world to me. I had, you know, millions of fans before I ever had that song. And so they know the diversity. They know that I do the fun stuff, the turn up, the trap, the conscious, the boom bap, the this, the that. And when I made this album, I didn't think about anything but just trying to spread a good message. And when I made 1-800 in specific, that was the last song. I literally made that for the fans who were like, you've saved my life. And I was like, what? I never even tried to. Maybe I could help others if I made a song specifically for that. And yeah, I've had people be like, oh, this is such a radio song or such a this or whatever, whoever that is on Twitter. And I'm like, what? A song about suicide? Like truly, a song about suicide is it's, of course that's gonna make it on the radio? Like what are you talking about? Like to me, it's like, no, the climate was not that at all whatsoever. So to be able to have that message in that song and it do what it did is exciting. And I'm also excited for the future, whatever that may hold, because I'm in such a positive place now that like after such a very serious, you know, subject, I kind of want to like turn up and have some fun. So I think that's what I'll be doing next.
I'm sure you've had a lot of people come up to you at shows or have written fan stuff to you about things that maybe the song allowed them to express to their friends or family. Is there anything in particular that comes to mind where did anyone like come up to you and was like, yo, this song such and such? Or I'm sure there's a lot of them. So maybe
I mean, that's the thing. It is so hard because it's very overwhelming. Like it's insane, you know. When I first started in my career, there'd be those moments where you always remember. And not to say that the people that come up to me that I don't remember or appreciate, but it's like so overwhelming. It's truly hard to even internalize it because it's so beautiful. Like even today, you know, one of the survivors at the rehearsals in the Garden for the Grammys, you know, came up to me and was like, told me how he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and survived. And so, and he was like, what you talk about in this song is like everything, you know, we go through. So thank you. And I'm like, man, you know, it makes me like emotional thinking about it. And it's really beautiful. So I don't know, but I also try not to overthink it. With everything, when people are like show a bunch of love or hate or this or that, I try not to overthink anything because I don't want my head to get too big from compliments. I don't want my self-esteem to get too low from, you know, negativity or anything like that.
Well, you bring up negativity. With the more success, there's always going to be you know, those people who have something to say. How do you deal with that? Like the human reaction when somebody brings negativity on your name is I'm gonna clap back or I'm gonna respond and whatever. When you hear something like that, your message is all about peace, love, and positivity. So how do you take the negative energy that's thrown to you and then figure out what to do with it?
I think at the end of the day, it's like I don't speak hate. It's just not a language that I understand. I only understand the language of love. So it's like anybody that hates me, well, I love you truly deep down. And if you hate me, it's probably, I mean, anybody who's ever said anything about me, you know what I mean, has never shooken my hand, has never even had a conversation with me. So how can you gauge, your entire belief of a person or what you love or hate or this about them on solely your opinion from the outside, I guess. Me, think about it. All I represent is peace, love, and positivity. And I think anybody that would have an issue with that, or me in specific, truly just has issues with himself internally and deep down, because I want the best for everyone, especially in hip-hop, you know, because hip-hop is very, what's the word? It's like territorial, and everybody's got to be better than this and this. I don't play that game. Y'all can fight each other and hate each other and hurt each other and do whatever you want, and I'm going to stand over here praying and hoping that you all have the best lives and hopefully have that sight one day to realize that we are all brothers and sisters in this family, especially within hip-hop. And if you don't understand that, that sucks, because I'm over here speaking this language of love and success as well. So, yeah.
I think it's an important message. When I look at all the like cyberbullying and I see all the comments, it's like, it's so easy to be like, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Or you say something, I'm gonna say back. And it's like, at some point, it's like, where does it stop? It just kind of gets turned into like this cycle of like negativity. And then it's like, at some point, somebody's got to just be like, yeah, I'm not with that. Yeah,
and I'm not with that. And it's the biggest thing is like, why feed into anything like that? It's like, if somebody's, you know, saying negative things, why even address that person? It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and being happy. And I think, yeah, especially on the internet, when you think about comments and other people, like, here's what I believe. I believe that Twitter and Instagram and the internet as a whole, but especially with things like Twitter, is the new magazine. And you know, you could be like, oh, what do you mean? Well, think about it. You know, when you used to sit in a doctor's office and you pick up a magazine and you can say whatever, like, Will Smith's haircut looks so dumb. You know, or so-and-so about, oh my God, can you believe she wears that dress? She looks terrible. Like, and these are just things that we kind of say, we're human.
Right.
We make these comments, we say, we're joking, we don't even mean it. We're looking at somebody else live their lives, you know, while we're, you know, waiting to get our oil changed or whatever the case may be. Right. But now the physical things that we used to read are gone, and it's all on your phone. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like an interactive magazine. Oh my God, you look so terrible in this, to your 71 million followers that you think this person will never see what you say. Mm-hmm. But what about when they do see that? And you're this person who probably really isn't like evil or bad or this or that, but even your words and your comments, you know, take effect to other people. Mm-hmm. And then I think that the truly like negative ones, or people who are just constantly seeking things out, they really do have internal struggles and battles with themselves. And at the end of the day, they also just want attention, mm-hmm. you know, which is a real thing. And unfortunately, in our society, negativity, I think, gets more headlines than positivity, because, yeah, everybody wants to know. I mean, even if you hear about, like, somebody fought somebody, what? Like, it's almost like, even the good-hearted are like, wait, what happened? Because in a way, you're like, oh, is everybody okay? Like, is that person all right? I want to know what this is about. Yep. As opposed to, like, you know, 2 kittens got saved. You're like, oh, that's great.
Right. Yeah. It's funny, because a lot of people are like, yo, you don't really, like, do a lot of like negative comments or negative interviews or call people out, and I'm like, if I don't like something, I don't give it any attention. Like, yeah, that's me being like, I rather not give something attention by being like, this album is whack, or I can't stand this person or whatever. It's like, the best way to be a hater is to just not talk about that person and focus on the things that I like, because
that's true.
Then it's like that thing doesn't exist. If you feed into it and you're like, oh man, I hate the way this rapper such and such or whatever, it's like you're still talking about the thing you don't like. So why not spend that energy talking about the things you do like?
Completely. I think it's also human nature for us to because it's about power. So it's like, if you say, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that, it's because it's you trying to like change, you know, these things about it. But we even had this conversation. It's like, think about all the things that people tried to change or wanted to change or could have changed. I mean, I remember being, what? What's up, dog?
Oh, shit.
How you doing, man?
What's up, bro?
It's good to see you. Look at your hair. You got the swag.
What's up? What's up? Good to see you too. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take his spot real quick.
Take over the interview right now.
I don't mean to crash your interview.
Nah, crash the interview.
But you can call me later on my Samsung.
Samsung.
Call me later on
Yo, this is kind of tight.
Samsung.
Yo, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What has been one of your favorite highlights of your career?
We're here in New York. It's Hardknocktv.
Hey.
It's Sean Don Logic. We're real
Swag.
bros right here.
Turn up, flex.